Well, good afternoon, everybody. How you doing here? We're just before the noon hour. We're May the 2nd, 2025 here. We're over here by the conservatory. We'll just walk through the zoo today, and I'm kind of depressed today. Maybe we'll talk about it. We'll wait till people come in the chat here. I don't want to be like, woe is me. We should count our blessings. You know, we'll stay positive. We'll go check out the tulips here, and we'll walk through the zoo. We'll see if we get any nice animal sightings. The tulips should be pretty nice. I mainly want to check out the zoo today to check out the flowers. The flowers in the zoo are just as beautiful as the animals this time of the year. It's pretty cold. You know, I'm actually wearing a heavier jacket today because it feels colder now than it did this morning. Hey Chris, how you doing there? David, how you doing there? Yeah, thanks for tuning in from California there. Ernie, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in so much. Yeah, I haven't made any changes yet, but I thanks for getting back to me, Ernie. There, we'll move forward with that, and I'll talk with Anita and Michael and everybody, and we'll get you on board here, at least for YouTube. We'll start with YouTube. I think we're fine with TikTok, but we'll talk about that more later. And we really appreciate your help yesterday. It was with Michael. It was pretty hectic there covering the May Day. And sorry to put you through that, but I felt it important enough to cover what's just going on here, you know, and it was nice seeing Drew. Here, look at the beautiful red buds in the dogwoods. Danny, how you doing there? Yeah, good. That's good. Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, we'll get there. All in good time. All in good time. Look at the beautiful flowering trees here. Yeah. So even though it's cold today, colder than we want, we know spring's on its way. Just the fact that things are getting green. We're in May, and we got the whole rest of the spring and summer ahead of us. We're going to enjoy it here. Look at the beautiful, see, just the fact of, I appreciate you guys, just the fact of me being able to use everybody as a sounding board and get some perspective here. It's good. Thanks everybody that messaged me. We had a nice walk this morning. I just kind of lost it at the end. It's just the comment scroll wears on me, and I have the wrong temperament for live streaming, and I get depressed because, you know, I think it's great, you know, Keys Impact, he's trying to promote black businesses on the south side. They went to 79th Street and, we're promoting that, and he's putting all these videos how Chicagoans never go to the south side. Well, Chris and I went to the south side. Chris posted videos from the south side. I went to the south side. Chris and I have been posting videos from the south side for years. And we're not the only ones. Drew's post videos from the south side. It's not true. I know he's talking about other people. I take it too personally. I'm like, Keys, I go to the south side, and I hope he respects that, because I've been going to the south side for 25 years, even longer than that, you know. And even before I lived in Chicago, I was going to the south side. I went to the Museum of Science and Industry in 1994, you know, and I remember seeing the Robert Taylor Holmes. Here's the Naya. How you doing there? Michael, how you doing there? Florian, yeah, how you doing there? That's good, Michael. No, we'll keep doing this. Yeah, I just get depressed, and you know, hey, look at the. I get, you know, it's just the world is depressing sometimes, no matter what your political perspective is. You know, I don't think people on either side of the political spectrum are completely happy with how the world events are going, you know, and they're just happy that their guy's in charge, but we still got problems, and the president still has problems, because we all got problems, because life is hard. But it's sometimes, so there's still good things about life. Look at the beautiful spring trees here. Look at the conservatory. You guys are great. And hey, we got sirens in the back. Look at these little beautiful trees here. So this is Lincoln Park in Chicago. We're gonna go to the zoo because I'm working from home today, and I guarantee you $100 that someone will have a negative comment about the zoo today. We'll just let it slide. That's what wears on me. It's just, no matter what You know, it just, you can't win, you know, like someone's going to have a negative comment about this, you know, the kid's just holding the rope going back to the school, you know, and I know people are just expressing, you know, maybe they're depressed and we need to cheer them up, you know, maybe people are trying to reach out. That's the only way they know how to reach out, you know, and it's part of life. I complain too. So, hey, look at this little, yeah, you got these little, hey, look at the squirrel. So sometimes I walk back in here because, see, it looks like there's like a little path, but it's real low. And it's this little side thing here. I like how there's like these little nooks and crannies. I always want to put like some little shrine or something there, you know, like a gnome or something hanging out there. Hey, Dolores, how you doing there? What's happening? Yeah, we're gonna head over to the zoo. So if you just joined, yeah, we're gonna probably a couple minutes there, we'll enter the zoo, and we'll start heading around here. Happy Friday, May the 2nd. What do we got? 12:04, and yeah, it's good to take a walk at lunchtime here. So hopefully they'll turn this fountain on. They're going to turn the Buckingham Fountain on May the 10th, and so we'll probably do that on TikTok. It'll be a Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday. Wow, look at these colors here. Hope the spring colors are popping wherever you're at. Leaving this, we got an orange tree and a red tree. Look at that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. We'll go through the zoo here and check out the flowers. But hey, thanks everybody that tuned in yesterday. Yeah, that video got 5,000 views, and probably most people watched it. They watched it to get angry. But not you guys. You know what I'm talking about, the people we saw in the comments. And that's par for the course. But look at that. Hey, they already mowed the grass. We got the fresh mowed grass here. There's the John Hancock. There you go. And there's the Schiller statue. So hey, let's quickly head to the zoo. We'll get this thing started, and we'll see what's shaking at the zoo here. We'll check out the tulips, and we'll go through the day. Now I just get depressed because, you know, I know the Obama Presidential Center. I call it the Presidential Library. It's behind schedule. It's a controversial project. A lot of money was spent on it, but of course it wasn't necessarily taxpayer money. It was fundraised money, and all presidents, Republican or Democratic, raise money for their presidential libraries wherever they end up. And of course, Chris and I were just surprised by the scale of it. It's pretty large. You know, it looks like it's going to launch rockets or something. You know, it could be like on God damn it, the people making noise with their cars. Excuse my language here. The Obama Presidential Library, it looks like it could be in Star Wars there. It's like something from it could have been the Lucas Museum. I wish I would have thought of that when we were there. I'm like, you know, if it's something from a Disney Star Wars movie there, you know. And any architectural project is going to be controversial. See, look, so they put this up because the herons are back. So the herons are back, the migratory birds. So if you just joined, we're in the Lincoln Park Zoo here. This is a free zoo here. Here's the children's zoo. And they put up this tent because the herons are back, and they're above the wolves, and they crap over everything. So that's why they put up this tent here. And there's the otters over here. So here, now you appreciate me. How you doing? Hey, why is it so messy here? This is what it says. Large birds nesting in the trees above are black-crowned night herons. These migrants are endangered in Illinois and protected endangered species, so that's why they got this up here, so you don't get crazy. There they are. See, there's the herons. They're nesting above the. There's one flying. Look at all the nests there. So those are all herons in their nest in a tree. And actually, like the trees, it starts killing the trees. You know, there they are. Look at all these herons. And so all these trees will probably die. See, positive and negatives, everything. Yeah. How you doing there? Thanks for tuning in. Rotten Steam there. Let's see there. Okay. See, look at the negativity. here I am at the zoo. Here I'm at the zoo, and I got to deal with negativity because other people are miserable or they hate Chicago, and therefore they hate me. And then I feel like South and West Side Chicagoans hate me because they don't want me here. You know, like I ruined Chicago by moving here 26 years ago, and I feel that vibe. I want to talk to Keys about it. I'm like, Keys, you want me to leave? You know, like I don't belong here because I'm not a native Chicagoan. You know. And the main thing I'm depressed is that there's so many people that are just can't enjoy anything. You know, you can't enjoy the zoo. You know, and it's because people think I'm trying to promote it. I'm not trying to promote it. I'm just showing you what I enjoy, and then people give me feedback that they don't enjoy what I enjoy, and then it makes me depressed. And I'm like, well, watch something else, but they'd rather, you know, and so I guess I'm supposed to be a better person than this, but I'm not, so I'm letting everybody down, and then, you know, makes me not want to do this anymore, because I think that's the point. Here, look at so we saw these tulips earlier. They really bloomed out. They're kind of moving towards the end here. And hey, Anita, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being on there, Sharon. Yeah, how's it going there? Anita, if you can do me a favor. And Michael or anybody, the person that said the same old Chicago crap, nobody gives a damn. Let's permanently block them. I don't want them seeing my content. I don't ever want them encountering it again, because you know I'm doing them a favor. I'm actually trying to help them out because they don't deserve to see the lions. They don't, because these lions live in Chicago. I don't want them watching my content because you know you teach people how to treat you, and I'm not going to take it anymore. And I'll talk to the mod team about, maybe we'll come up with a new strategy where we'll just, you know, we'll do people a favor. If they don't enjoy it, we'll help them out by just making it so they never have to see this content ever again. And they might be algorithm robots. They might not even be real people. Look at the lions here. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to the Lincoln Park Zoo here. Look at the lions here. And yeah, Michael or Anita, if we could block the person that said the same old Chicago, and I really appreciate it. Thanks for helping me out there. And look at the lions here. Look at that. Hey, chewing on a bone there. Look at that. That is nice. Licking it. Hey, the lions are out here. Yeah. Thanks, Michael. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. And I guess I'm just a different type of person. You know, I'm not. You know, if I'm watching somebody else's content and I don't enjoy it, I usually just like leave it as fast as possible. But it's part of the culture that people will leave a nasty comment and then they'll scroll past it because they want to make sure they leave a nasty comment first. I guess it's like using your horn in your car or flipping somebody off, or road rage is what it is. And they want to make sure, they want to, you know, try to make me have a bad day, but they're not going to succeed because we're having a good day and we're enjoying our time here at the zoo, hanging out with the lions here at the Pepper Family Wildlife Center here. Look at all these people having a good time. And yeah, I understand what you're saying, Sally, but I'm not as good a person as you. If you know, maybe you have more experience with live streaming than I do, and I'll defer to you. But when you do it, when you know, and I'm a very sensitive person, as my moderators know. Things that wouldn't bother other people bother me because I internalize it. I take it personally, and I never can overcome this. So this is just my style, and thanks for understanding. Look at the swans. Hey, here's the swans here by the waterfall here. And this zoo started with these swans back in the 1800s, around the time of the Civil War when they started this zoo. There was 2 swans and a bear, and they've always had 2 swans here. That call this the Swan Pond. Yeah, but Dolores, I can't do that. Dolores, please listen to what I'm saying, Dolores. I am not the type of person that can just let it go. it's a personal flaw of mine. I apologize to you and everybody else that I let everybody else down, because, you know, it goes to my upbringing. I don't take criticism well. I grew up in a cult. I was gaslit as a child, and I feel I'm very sensitive to politicians gaslighting people. Oh, here, look at that. Here's the geese. Here's the geese flying through the zoo. And, you know, if people are rude, I'm going to be rude back to them, and it's a failing of mine. It's a flaw of mine, and I admit it. But, you know, unless I can, I just wish I couldn't, you know, be better at it. And it's you know, not everybody's good at everything. I'm still. There's a lot of things about social media I really do not like, and there's things I do not like about myself because I feel like I'm selling out. Because I do not want to be an influencer. I do not want to be a social media star. I do not want to be TikTok famous. And since it's happened, look what happened. You know, I hate to relate it to this, okay? This is a bad example, but Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain did not deal with fame well. Not everybody's cut out for being famous. Not everybody's cut out for dealing with political comments or being a politician. Some people, you're just, you know. And I'm not saying that's what drove him to do what he did. And I'm not contemplating that at all. I appreciate life so much, and I appreciate all you guys. That's not where I'm going with this. I'm just using it as an example. Some people think they want to be famous, and then once they do become famous, it's not what they thought it was, and then it's too late. And then, you know, the pressure, it becomes too hard. You know, I feel responsibility to this city and my community of Chicagoans to represent it. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. That's great. And this city has so much baggage and flaws and things it will never overcome because it goes to the flaws of America that are represented in the city. The fact that Chris and I cannot even go to the south side of Chicago and film stuff in a positive way and not get flack and people politicizing us. Chris and I didn't cause the Obama presidential army to be built, but we're showing it exists, and then people, you know, I know they don't think they're attacking me, but I take it that way because I think they would too if I would comment on their content the way they comment on ours. And it's just, you know, here's the flamingos. Here's the Chilean flamingo. Hey, look at the flamingos here at Lincoln Park Zoo. Hey, look at, they're all turning their heads. Isn't it so funny when they turn their heads? They're all like in unison. They're looking around. And sometimes you see them like they flock and they'll all change direction. And then they'll go the other way. They always stand on one leg, and they always bob their heads. And when sometimes they do this like choreography where they shake their heads towards each other and do this little dance, the flamingo dance, the Chilean flamingo dance. Look at that. Thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, we're living through a stressful time. I don't know how people, you know, in the late 60s, you know, it was actually worse then. You know, as far as the polarization of society because of the Vietnam War and the civil rights movement, the polarization was even greater then. But I fear we're heading back to a 2020 type moment, and it probably won't happen this year, but it's going to happen eventually. It just, you know, you smell it in the air. You know, something's in the air tonight. You know. Yeah, living in the limelight there. Good comment there, Chris. Neil Peart. The lyrics for Rush made such great music, but the lyrics of the Rush songs are very intelligent, and that's what you're talking about there. Neil Peart, the drummer from Rush there, and yeah, I'll check it out there. Limelight. Yeah. They look like sticks. Yeah, isn't it? Their legs are so skinny. And all their muscles up at the top there, and it's amazing they can make them move because there's really no muscle around the joint where they bend. I'm talking about the flamingo's legs there. But here, look at the flowers here. We got seagull, we got blue flowers. Let's go up to this little overlook here. We got daffodils. Sounds like there's a bunch of field trips here. Yeah, you seen Rush many times? Visionaries, that's great. The flamingos, yeah. How you doing there? Aditi, thanks for tuning in there. Dolores Ernesto. Sally, yeah, the cuties. Botanical spot there, yeah. No, this is Chicago. This is Lincoln Park in Chicago. Yeah. There's the seagulls saying hello. The Central Park has a zoo. Christopher, how you doing there, seagull? What do you say? Look at that. Yeah, Christopher Dodson's filmed from the area where the Central Park Zoo is there. Here we'll head around here. Look at the beautiful yellow flowers. Here we'll head over there. The magician's there. Usually there's a there's a magician right there. I feel bad sometimes. I'll walk through filming, he'll stop because he sees me filming and I don't want to ruin his thing. He doesn't want me to live stream his performance, and I understand that. But sometimes we see the nice woman playing the guitar, singing the folk music here. And I have given her tips, but I don't give her a tip every time because we walk through here a lot. But here's the daffodils. Yeah. Seeing the beautiful. We'll just look at the skyline for a second here, and then we'll head back into the zoo. There's a nice view here. But hey, yeah, if you just joined, we got 12/19. What is this? May 2nd, Friday, 2025. We're in the Lincoln Park Zoo. We got about 50 degrees. So it's a little chilly today, but not too bad. And it's not raining. Aditi, how you doing there? It kind of feels like, there's the magician there. Look, he's got the table floating there. He's got to make the table float. Look at that. Look how he makes the table float. Look at that. That's amazing. Look at the magician there. That's great. That's awesome. So here, let's head around here. That's great. How you doing? That is awesome. Very nice. But here, look at the flowers. There used to be a waterfall there, but I don't know if they're turning on. So you can walk around that thing where the strollers are. That goes over to, there's a picnic area, and then you get to the reptiles. But I just want to show you this view. We see it all the time on TikTok, but we'll get it here on YouTube. I'm not going to the bridge. I'll just zoom into the skyline here through the trees. Oh, you watched that magician? You got into trouble? You got into trouble? Oh, while you were working. Yeah, he's really good. I'm on YouTube. How you doing there? Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hey, look at that skyline view. Look at that. That's great. Look how it's reflected in the water there. That's nice. Hey, Annette, how you doing there? Lorene, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in. How's everybody doing here? Look at that beautiful view. There's the nature boardwalk. That's where Jen, you should eat. She saw the beavers. The beavers were right over there, and we'll be on the lookout for them. They got a lodge over there. We walk through there often, so I'm not going to do it now. We'll go back into the zoo. But see, some animals live outside the zoo, and some live inside the zoo. I wonder if the otters, they said, why don't you live out there with the beavers? We'll be good. Yeah, okay. I moved to Chicago in 1999, and so I think it was up before then. Yeah, I'm Brian in Chicago. How you doing there?
Man, I'm a follower.
That's good. Thanks for saying hello. That's good. I like the hat. That's great.
Love your lives.
That's great. Thanks for saying hello. That's great. Yeah, that's good. So, hey, that's awesome. See, friends and neighbors here. That's why we do this. I do feel more connected to our fellow Chicagoans here, and even people, the nice woman from Kansas City said hello. People from St. Louis, and people from all over the world there. So here, we'll head around here. But yeah, let's see here. I hear those kids talking about me. I want to get out of here before they engage with me, because they're gonna challenge me in some way. I know everything's a test. Everything's a test of how real you are. Like I'm a poser. Yeah, I'm a Bulls fan. I wanted the Bulls to get into the playoffs. I was excited because they had some of those close finishes, but this year, like last year, they had a one-game play-in to get into the playoffs there, and they lost. They lost this year, and they lost last year. So maybe next year. But hey, good news is the White Sox won yesterday. They beat the Milwaukee Brewers. It was like 8-0, wasn't it? And then here, let's go past the flamingos. I'm trying to get away from these guys. Keep circling me everywhere I go. The Cubs won yesterday too. So the Cubs took 2 of 3 against the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the White Sox lost 2 of 3 so far against the Milwaukee Brewers. But that helps out the Cubs, and Cubs are still in first place as far as I know, 8-0. Hey Ernie, thanks for the information there. Thanks Sally. No, I appreciate the positive feedback. You guys are great. I know the vast majority of our audience, and it shows you something about the flaw in my brain that 99% of the comments are positive. It's just this 1 to 5%, and I need to just ignore them. It's good advice. You think by after 2 years of doing this, I would get over it. I got to get over myself here and my ego. Here's the, hey, see the flamingos went out in the water. They were closer in. Now they're out in the water there. Here's the Chilean flamingos here in Lincoln Park Zoo. Look at her skinny legs there. Some of them are white. Some of those, look, that one's white. It must have been eating a different diet there, because what makes them pink is the shrimp. They eat the pink shrimp and the krill, and it makes them pink. They look like shrimp, don't they? But hey, look at the flowers here. You got all the daffodils. So there's a big food court up there. That used to be the fish house, but of course the zoo doesn't have a fish house now. They have some fish tanks, but not a building dedicated to fish, because the shed aquarium was built in the field museum campus there. And yeah, white flamingo. Did you see that? It's like an albino flamingo. And so here, we'll head through here. Yeah, I see that, Michael Anderson. Yeah, even Drew and I were talking about the comment about the limited your 2 Barbies, 2 dolls instead of having 20 comment. We all must sacrifice for the greater good. That sounds like socialism, doesn't it? I think that's great. I'm glad the conservatives are asking us to sacrifice for the common good here. Here's the there's the snow leopard. The snow leopard's out. You don't have to see the snow leopard. It's kind of, look at its tail there. Let's see if we can get around to the side here. Let's see if we can catch it on. Oh, there's 2 of them. Oh, something's going on here. Something's going on here. Look at that. That's great. Yeah. There we go. Oh, look at that. There's 2 of them. Yeah, look, there's the snow leopards. So they were getting frisky there. They were freaky, huh? Yeah. Look at that. There's the snow leopard. Look at that. Rejected. Nice try. Hey, it's coming down the steps there. How you doing? So there's one over there. There's the snow leopards. There's 2 of them. This is Lincoln Park Zoo. Here comes one here. Look at that. Wow, look at the snow leopard. Look at their paws. Beautiful. Look at that fur. How you doing there, snow leopard? Yeah. Hey, stretching out there. Yeah, clawing, just like a cat. Just like, would you like to have one of these as your pet there? Clawing up your furniture? Look at that. Look at his claws. Yeah, I've never been to Chicago. Hey, Didi, thanks for tuning in here. Yeah, that is great. Look at that. It's 2 snow leopards. Lincoln Park Zoo. And you see how? Yeah, they got a nice habitat here. There's 1227. There's some more cats this way. Yeah, let's see if we can see. We haven't walked down this way in a while here. Let's head around here. There it is. Wow. Snow leopard. Very nice, very nice. So here, let's see what else we got over here. Another snow leopard. There it is. Look at that. Look at all these snow leopards you're seeing. You got several of them. Look at that bushy tail there. How you doing there? No, thanks, Ernie. Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for understanding, sharing. No, thanks. Just the fact that you guys let me talk about it is good. I appreciate it. Thanks, Anita, and everybody else here. And yeah, it's great weather. How you doing there, Gina? Michael? Yeah. Great day for the zoo. Yeah, it's a giant cat here. Look, there's 2 of them. So there's 4. This is the 4th snow leopard I've seen. There's 2 in this habitat, and there's 2 over there. A lot of times I walk through here for weeks and I never see the snow leopard. They're all out today because it's cool weather. Hey, maybe they'll get up on their little swing there. Yeah, snow leopards. Look at that. Hey, they're posing for Well, hey. Oh, people. Yeah, let's see if it comes around here. How you doing there, kitty? Yeah, you smelling the grass? There, it might come really close here. Let's get the close up here. Oh, the beautiful. You're beautiful. Look at this beautiful snow leopard, Lincoln Park Zoo. Yeah. Look, it's sniffing around. There goes the other one here. We get both of them in here. Look at that. This is some really good footage of the snow leopard. We'll have to cut this out. Oh, you're beautiful. I love your tail there. Look at that. Yeah. Snow leopard, 2 of them here. Lincoln Park Zoo. We got about 50 degrees. It's noticeably cooler today. Friday, May the 2nd here, 2025. And see, we're behind. There's, oops. Here's the, this used to be the fish house. And here, let me show you what this looks like on the inside. It's a food court. We won't stay in here too long. Hopefully I won't lose my connection. Oh, hey, you got a photo booth, restrooms, vending machines. And there's a food court. It's a food court in here. You can go inside. And they got some safari sandwiches, grill, Mexican food, Mexican market, Italian, ice cream, and seating area here. And again, this used to be the fish house, but they retrofitted it to make it a food court here. So we'll head out of here. Hey, Krista, how you doing there, Gina? Let's see, Aditi. Intrusive thoughts. Hey, we all got intrusive thoughts. Believe me, I got many intrusive thoughts. It's always a battle to keep control of my mental stability here. So the merry-go-rounds going around here. It looks like a volcano. They light that up at night. The tulips are just beautiful. We'll go back and we'll see the. This is the primate house. There's the gibbons and the little monkeys. This is beautiful. This is the statue to Eugene Field. I guess, I don't know if he died young or what it was. I guess the Field family made this and donated it to the zoo. There's a statue, and they have the wink and blink and a nod poem there by one of the poets there. Was it Kipling or one of them? And look at these beautiful tulips here. Lincoln Park Zoo. We'll go back and check out this statue. I think there is a water feature to it, but they probably don't have it turned on yet. There it is. We've shown this before. Christopher. Hey, Christopher, thanks for tuning in yesterday, and thanks for your gift. And there's another person, Sky. YouTube's hard because it's hard to message people directly. I want to message people directly and thank them. Several people gave me really generous gifts yesterday when we were covering the... See, I got to count that up as a positive, too, because you guys, I really appreciate you guys support the content. You know how hard it is to stream in a protest march like that. And but here's the winking, blinking, and nod poem, and it's to Eugene Fields, and that's what this statue is. But look at the tulips, and there's a water feature back here and a water fountain. Look at that. That's an interesting piece of artwork there. Look at the tulips and this beautiful statue in the Lincoln Park Zoo. Hey, they're falling asleep. But hey, look at these trees. The burgundy maroon color here, the yellow daffodils. Yeah, it's a poem by Eugene Field. Oh, so this poem is by Eugene Field. Does it have anything? Maybe it doesn't have anything to do with the Field family. It's just a coincidence. I need to research it. Thanks, Chris, for the good information. I need to know what I'm talking about before I'm spreading misinformation here. This is the primate house. Look how they got, even in the building, they got the monkey face there. I guess that's what that is. Here's how, yeah, it's the exit for the merry-go-round. You got a nice merry-go-round here. Yeah, what happened there? Let's see. YouTube removed it. Really? That is amazing. See. Oh man, we'll never figure out these apps, Christopher. It's always something. I know you like me. We've had TikTok. It's so frustrating. Even YouTube throws us for a loop sometimes. But here, we'll walk through here. Let's see if we see the lions here. There's the main entrance. If you enter from the parking lot, you come in here. Hey, I want to drive this golf cart around. The Pepper Family Wildlife Center. The lions were out. We'll just walk through here to get to the other side. We got 1234. There you go. There you go. Very good. Thank you. Oh, they're working on it. They're working on something over here. But this is the Over Lion House here. The Pepper Wildlife. Oh, there's the lions. Look at that. Look at the beautiful. Try to. There they are. Look at the lions. Hey, they're eating lunch. Licking on their bones there. Look at that. Yeah. ECG, how you doing here? Look at the lions here. Lincoln Park Zoo. They're having their lunch. Look at this lion. Walking around there. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, coming over here. How you doing there, lion? You look beautiful. See, we saw the snow leopards. Now we're seeing the lions. So we're seeing a lot of big cats today. They're taking a rest there. Oh, how you doing? That's okay. How you doing? That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Look at that. Look at the. Yeah, that's some good bones there. You can lick on the marrow. So here, let's keep going. I would love to stick around here, but we'll head to the other side, and we'll go up to see if the meerkats and the giraffes are out, and we'll head up towards the penguins and the polar bear. But just cruising through the Lincoln Park Zoo. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Anita, Chris, and Michael, and everybody. I really appreciate your help. And hey, there's lions. It shows you how large their habitat is. They can freely travel from this side to the other side. They can go up over the top here, and that's why when you go in there, you can view them. There's two more lions over here. There were 6, but now there's 5. I think we lost one. And no, there were 7. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there were 7. Now we got 6. Okay, good. The Tawani Great Hall here, and this was built in 1914, and look at it, it's pretty good shape here. Over 100 years ago. Charlotte, how you doing there? You read that poem? Yeah, it's good. Yeah, Brian, it's a lovely zoo here. Look at the water fountain. You got the lions drinking out of the water fountain. The other end of the zoo, they got elephants drinking out of the water fountain. And hey, you get your cotton candy. Get your popcorn. We'll head around here. Oh, you read the poem there? That's good. Wink and blink and a nod there. Eugene Fields there. There it is. Look at that line. Yeah. How you doing? Yeah. Look at that. They're coming over there. Coming over to say hello. There. The Lions, Lincoln Park Zoo. Let's head up to the north end here. Landmark Cafe. This is where we came in. The seals are there. There's the housing outside the zoo. The train's going around there. It's not really on a track. It just drives around a little path there. There used to be a train that went around the South Pond a long time ago, but they got rid of that. Happy sounds there. How you doing? Hey, so there's the gift shop. They're blowing bubbles there. You go into the gift shop above. It's the Landmark Bird's Eye Bar and Grill. Hey, let's see if the macaques are out here. The Japanese monkeys here. Yeah, let the lion out. It's just like the. Oops, oh sorry. Just like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, where they let the big tall Creek Native American guy got out of the mental institution and ran. He threw the water fountain, drinking fountain, through the window and broke out of society there. You know, King Kesey. And King Kesey worked at a mental institution. Here's the macaques. Oh, the macaques, they're grooming each other. They always are looking for bugs and grooming each other. Here, the macaques. Hey, see, look, there's one here. He's eating a salad there. How you doing there, buddy? Yeah, eating a salad. It's good. Yeah. Yeah, old McDonald had a farm. Beautiful flashbacks. Yeah, you and me both there, Ernie. Great minds have flashbacks alike here. Here's look at that. So they got the waterfront, and look at all this nice habitat they got. They got little waterfalls and little hot tubs and pools, and we got nice salad there. How you doing there? What do you say? You want to be on YouTube there? So send me some royalties. You want to join the creator fund? Here they are, Japanese macaques. See, I'm sure you've seen wildlife documentaries where they're sitting in the hot springs there in wintertime, and they seem to enjoy that so much. It's so relaxing watching them in their natural setting there. No thanks. Look at that. There we go. There's more macaques here. How you doing there, buddies? Aw. Here's the macaques here, Lincoln Park Zoo. Yeah. I like the comments here. It's great. Okay, you're in luck. You know how much the entry fee is for the Lincoln Park Zoo? It's free. This is a free zoo. I just walked in and out. Why? People are like, why do you go to the zoo so often? I live near the zoo, and it's free. And it's not just taxpayer money. This has a huge endowment. A lot of rich philanthropists that live not just in Chicago donate money to this. You can be friends of the zoo. I'm sure the city is part of it too. And that's why I know we all pay high taxes here, but at least I have a free zoo that I can visit 363 days out of the year. The only days it's closed is Christmas and New Year's. Now, sometimes at night, in the wintertime, they have the zoo lights, and you have to pay for that. So the zoo lights, when they got you have to pay $10 now. It used to be $5, now it's $10. They'll probably raise the price next year, but that's for special events, you know. And here's the birds of prey. There's the vulture. There's the vulture there. Let's see if the bald eagle and the owl's out over here. There's a bald eagle. Hey, it's spreading its wings there. Look at the look how large these birds are. These are the vultures in Lincoln Park Zoo. So here's the bald eagle. I don't know, no guarantee it's out. I don't see it, so no bald eagle today. And there's the snowy owl. There's the snowy owl. Let's see if we can get closer to it here. Now it's behind that log there, so there's the snowy owl. You see it there? They can turn their heads completely around, so sometimes they'll face the other way. And so the bald eagle must be sleeping. There, I'll show you a picture of a bald eagle. But here, let's go ahead around the vultures here. You want to be Sting? Fields of gold, fields of gold. Yeah. So we have caught the bald eagle several times, and we might walk through here again, but it's not out. So and amazingly, there's a lot of more sightings of bald eagles in the natural wild on the Illinois River and the Mississippi, and even closer in, people have spotted bald eagles all around the Midwest, which is a great sign because they were greatly endangered because of DDT in their eggs, and we almost lost to extinction the national bird. And the rest of the preservation efforts have been successful, at least for the bald eagle. So here's the McCormick Birdhouse. You can go in through there. Here's the warthog. Let's see if the warthog's out here. You just saw it? Good. Oh, you saw a bald eagle near Lamont. And Nisi, you saw one in the wild? That's amazing. Here, let's see. There it is. There it is.
What's the channel name?
Brian Really Chicago. I'm on YouTube and TikTok, but this is YouTube right here. So
right.
That's great. Thanks for saying hello. Hey, there's a warthog. It's like
Red River hog.
Red River hog. So this is not like Pumbaa. This is that's amazing. Thanks for the good info. There's two of them there. Look at that. They're beautiful. Red River hog. Someone asked if these are penguins, I think. No, these are warthogs. Here, I'll show you. Red River hog. Here it is. Yeah. So let's go into the African journey here, and we'll see what's shaking here. They're going to the penguins. Hey, the penguins are out, so let's go see. Let's quickly see the penguins. We got 12:43 here. Yeah. If you want to avoid tariffs, go to the black market there. You can get your prescription drugs for free. Here's, I'm joking. Here's the penguins. Hey, the kids are climbing on the rocks here. Hey, here's the penguins. Look at the penguins. Penguins are out here, Lincoln Park Zoo. Oh, they're having a party here. Look at the penguins. They're shaking their heads and preening their plumage there. Look at the penguins coming out of the water. Look at that. Oh, they're swimming. Look at that. Oh, they're doing the backstroke. Look at that. You ever see a penguin do that? Look at that. They're flipping around there. Look at that. That's awesome. Look at that. Look at all these penguins. Oh, they're swimming. Here it's going. Oh, yes. Look at that. Doing the crazy stroke there. Look at that. I've never seen them do that. Doing a side stroke. Yeah, the penguins are so chill. There, look at this. Look at this. Look how fat. Look how fat. Look how fat. Oh, wow. It's jumping around. Yeah. Look at it. Getting frisky. I like the penguins here. Look at that. Yeah, they're squirting out of the way. They can swim so fast. Isn't it amazing how graceful they are in the water? But then on the land, it's you know, they're so awkward looking, you know. Hey, how you doing there, penguin?
This guy doesn't swim like the other ones do. They gotta get under.
See what this one does. See, they take some, and once they get in the water, they can really move.
How do you randomly just get so fast?
Go ahead. It's amazing. I'll clear the way so other people can watch there. So I would love to stay here all day. You know, and that's what, you know. Remember all the people yesterday that kept telling Drew and I to get a job. Drew has a job. I have a job. Drew took a vacation day to go there. He foregoed, you know, he took a vacation day to do that, cover that protest on his own dime. And good. So here, we'll head through here. We'll go through the. This is the Regenstein African journey here. They got the waterfall, and we'll head through the door here, and we'll see if the meerkats are out and the giraffes. I know. Well, it's because anonymity. And people will say things online that they wouldn't say to me and my, you know, if they were standing next to me, and that's what it is. And it's that's one of the major drawbacks of social media, that it makes people more. I think social media has made our society more polarized, and we should hold them accountable for that, because they're making a lot of profits off of getting Americans to fight against each other, and it's profitable, you know, and it's not helping our political discourse, and we you know, it makes it hard, and with great power and money comes great responsibility. All this talk about, for years I've been hearing from one side of personal responsibility, and then when they're in charge, they're not responsible. It's just, we're all hypocrites, and I know both sides of the political spectrum have hypocrisy. I acknowledge that. Here, look at the beautiful Disney-like effect here. We got the huts there. Let's see if the hippo's out here. So this is the pygmy hippo. There it is. There's the pygmy hippo right there. So since it's really crowded here, we'll cruise through here, and we'll try to get to the other side. Hey, taking a nice picture there. Here's the hippo's habitat. And we'll go over to the clip springers and the birds here. Guinea fowl. Let's see if we can see the clip springers here. That's what they look like. They look like little baby deer. And we got all these birds. Look, there's 2 blue eggs. No, that's something else. Oh. There they are. There they are. There's the clip springer. Oh, they're so cute. Look at it. Little clip springers here. They're gonna climb around on the rocks here. Let's get through here. So here, let's keep going here. So, let's see if the giraffes are out. No, the giraffes are not out. Let's see if the meerkats are out here. Hey, the meerkats are out here, so thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the Lincoln Park Zoo. It's getting loud here. Hey, there's the giraffes. There's one giraffe. There you go, look at that. Got his lunch here. There's the meerkat. There's the meerkats. Okay, so let's go to the side here so we can see if we can film the meerkats here. There's one. It's Timon. How you doing there? So here, let's head over here. There they are. How you doing, sweet thing? There it is. There it is. There's Timon. Look how fat they are. Yeah, they're sitting there in the straw. Meerkats here. Lincoln Park Zoo. It's noticeably crowded, more crowded today than it usually is. There's the giraffe. They're eating their lunch there. There we go. Check out the giraffe here. And here, there's 3 meerkats on this side too. Look at that. Giraffe. There it is. Oh, look at that. Hey, they're digging. They're right below us here. Hey, look at this guy. Look at that. Well, yeah, I thought the same thing. I'm like, so, you know, somebody was watching the stream. I'm like, it doesn't seem like you're working right now. You know, it just cracked me up. You know, but you know, if I say anything back, I'm the bad guy. Hey, how you doing there? How you doing? Hey, they're digging there. They said, let's escape. Let's dig a tunnel. Get out of this. There's a giraffe eating its lunch there. Look at that. Nah, ride the giraffe. Eating the twigs. So hey, Lincoln Park Zoo, we're checking out the meerkats here. So these 3 meerkats are newer. They got them from the Madison Zoo. And they kind of keep them separate from the ones over there because they got to keep the females apart because they'll attack each other. So these are all siblings, and so that's why they get along. And then the other ones are probably from the same cohort there. Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. We're checking out the giraffes here at Lincoln Park Zoo. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And we come over here, you know, when I work from home. See, there's more meerkats here. And let's see if we can find them. Where did they go? They must all went away. they were sitting out here. I guess they all ran inside. See this nice, see the giraffes can come in here and then they can go outside. Sometimes the aardvark comes in here too. And but right now they're using it for these meerkats. There, how you doing there, buddy? You're standing. You're the sentry guard there. You're the lookout. Yeah, look at that. It's like how they stand on their haunches. But yeah, there's more over here. This is the aardvark. So the aardvark's sleeping there. So here, let's head by the fish here. Yeah, they got this coin souvenir thing. Here's one of the places where they got fish. These are fishes that represent Lake Malawi in Africa, the Rift Valley there. And
We gotta get to the bus. Come on. We gotta get to the bus.
oh, they got it! Don't miss the bus. Here's the fish here. Oops. Let's try to get out of here. Pretty crowded. There, we'll head out and we'll see if the polar bear's out. Margaret Mead quote. So here, let's go by the flowers. We'll tiptoe through the daffodils. And if we're lucky, the polar bear will be out. Here it shows the vertebrae and the bones of the giraffe. Look at the giant vertebrae of the tongue, the long tongue of the giraffe, the long leg bones, and how big they are compared to a school bus. Here's the daffodils. And see if we can see the polar bear. They're looking for it. Doesn't look like it's out here. He's looking for it, so probably not. And let's see here. How you doing? Let's see. Yeah, I got the waterfalls here. So it's probably on the other side. You see they got the big, nice habitat here. You can see that big waterfall up here. This is for the polar bears. Every once in a while, probably 1 out of 20 times, I look for the polar bear. It'll be swimming. So if it is swimming, I make sure I film as much as I can. And we got reruns. If you want to see the polar bear swimming there in that pool, message me and we'll get you the video or find a way for you to check it out. It's very amazing to see them swim there. And they swim right up next to the window. Hey, thanks Pat there. Thanks Ernesto. And Marco, yeah. Yeah, the giraffes and the meerkats, that's great. So hey, we got 12:55. I got to head back to work. And that's why, I know yesterday, like I said it multiple times, I'm like, I got to go back to work. People are like, you deadbeats, get a job. You horrible leftist commies filming this American free speech expression there. You know, and I understand people want to vent, you know, so we let them vent. You can watch that rerun. They were venting the whole time. And it just amazes me that people will be angry, but they'll still continue to watch. They'll be angry, but they'll still, it's like, this is making me so angry, but I got to watch it for an hour, you know. And believe me, you know, and people can tell by, you know, I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and people can figure out which way I lean politically by just watching my videos. But, you know, I got to be genuine. I got to be true to myself. But if I was scrolling through TikToks or a live stream and I came across a Trump rally, I would just scroll by. I wouldn't leave a nasty comment. I'd be like, this is not for me. It's for somebody else, and I'll just scroll by, you know. You know, and I respect people's right to film that and go to Trump rallies. That's fine. If that's your gig, enjoy yourself. I'm glad it exists. It exists for you. It doesn't exist for me. I'm not the audience for that. And, you know, like I would sit there for an hour and watch it and make nasty comments for an hour. I got better things to do, trust me. It's just funny. But it takes all kinds. It takes all kinds. And we're going to walk past beautiful landscaping here. And I guess I need to be a more vindictive person. We must win every day. We must win every day. Every news cycle, we must win. We must own the libs and win, 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 and rub it in their face. And even when they, you know, they're so dejected, we still, you know, demoralized. It's a battle of wills. Here, look at the nice skyline here. There's the look at this beautiful landscaping here. The rhinoceroses. Look at the daffodils. We'll go past these red buds. Like I said, I came in here today also to film the flowers because we're seeing them in springtime. And we saw the flamingos out there. That was nice. That's what it is. I think some people are compelled to look down on somebody else to feel better about themselves. And I'm thankful I never got that from my parents. I'm very thankful, despite that weird religion I grew up, at least it was integrated. At least the church we went to, we would go to Cincinnati. I grew up with black friends, Asian friends. As a little kid, I would not have gotten that staying in the country because, as people know, a lot of the countryside of Indiana is very white. You get out in the country, these Midwestern, like Iowa, go to the middle of the country of Iowa, go to a grocery store, count the number of minorities you see. You won't run out of fingers. You know what I'm talking about. And at least, despite the baggage I have from that cult religion I grew up with as a kid. At least the church we went to was integrated. They say sometimes the most segregated day of the week is Sunday because people, it's getting better. It's much better than it used to be. But people, you know what I mean, and that was a positive, that I got exposed as a little kid to different cultures, ethnicities, backgrounds, and perspectives. So I don't have this baggage where I feel like I need to look down on somebody to feel superior about myself. Because, your self-worth should come from your own self. You don't have to put somebody else down to build yourself back up. And when I see it in the ideology coming out of the government, it's depressing, I don't want it, I know it's a reaction to the pendulum swung too far one way and it's swinging back the other way with a vengeance. Now the federal funds are being withheld to punish what the federal funds were trying to promote. And now they're even going to cut PBS and NPR. And we'll continue to just be subject to, that's why I feel responsibility to have some educational quality to my content here on TikTok and YouTube. Because we're losing some valuable institutions here, at least from my perspective. And I know some people on the right might be cheering that NPR and PBS are getting cut, like Sesame Street. Sesame Street's on HBO now, which is funny. And Sesame Street's not even on PBS anymore. But here we'll head out the main gate here. Thanks for being on here. I appreciate everybody's perspective, and thanks to my mods, and thanks everybody for staying positive and keeping me positive. And it's a daily challenge. So we'll go back to work. We'll see what happens after 5. I got to figure out if I'm going to do a evening walk on TikTok and where we're going to go. So, hey, let's film these tulips here. Thanks for tiptoeing through the tulips here. There you go, Sean. Look at the flowers. Aren't they nice? Look at that. Yeah, we've been showing the flowers, the tulips, and these are tulips, yellow and white and red. And wait till I show you the tulips in front of the main gate. The tulips in front of the main gate. We'll go into the main gate. There's violet tulips that are so dark they almost look black. They look like black roses, but they're tulips. And we'll show them to you here at the main gate there. Yeah, thanks, Sean. You're at the right place. Check out my reruns there. I'll do some reruns of the tulips of Michigan Avenue. I need to start work. I'm so backed up on my content because Chris and I, thanks to Chris, we got so much great content from the south and east side of Chicago. We went to Pullman. That's on TikTok. And I know not everybody's on TikTok, but a lot of you are. And tell Keys Impact that, yes, we do go to the south side. I've been going to the south side for years and will continue to do so, whether we get any credit for it or not. And I'm not trying to gentrify the south side. I'm just trying to show the good neighborhoods and people, because I'm friends with people that live on the south and west sides. I just live on the north side like most yuppies do in Chicago. I'm just a yuppie. There's the seals. Yeah, there's the little train. And here, let's show you these tulips here, Sean. Let's show these tulips out here in the front. Yeah, checking out the map there. There's some tulips. How you doing? The main gate here. So go. Of course, you can donate. You can donate to the zoo. It's a free zoo, though. You don't have to pay. There's zero admission. It's open from like 10 to 5 daily. Lincoln Park, Chicago. You can take the 151 bus or the 156, or you could take the red or brown lines or purple lines when it's running and get off either Armitage or Fullerton. It's a long walk from the train, but it's possible. And you can ride a bike up here, but the 151 and 156 will drop you off right there. You can walk in the gate for free. It's a $2.50 bus ride. They were running trolleys up here in the summertime. I don't know if they'll do that again or not. Our tourism's probably going to be hit hard this summer by the tariffs, because did you see Las Vegas? Las Vegas tourism's way down, and it's because Las Vegas is losing international travel, which was a large part of their. How you doing? That's great. Thanks for showing. Was a large portion of their. Hey, look at these dogs. That's great. How you doing? Here, let's check out these tulips. So we'll see how Las Vegas fares moving forward here. But here's the tulips Hey, there's a new batch coming out here. The yellow ones are just starting here. And here's some of the violet ones I talked about. These deep purple. And look at that. Beautiful tulips. They would be opened up more if the sun was out. Here, hold on a second here. They would be opened up more if the sun was out. It's kind of overcast and gloomy today, so they're kind of closed up. But look at these beautiful, they're almost black, the dark violet tulips here. This is Lincoln Park Zoo by the main entrance here off of Stockton. Yeah, Carla, Karen. That's okay, Karen. The full live rerun, you can always go to the live tab on YouTube and watch the full hour-and-a-half long, or if you only miss the second half, you could fast forward to the end on YouTube there. That's the good thing about YouTube, is that my lunchtime streams, you can watch the full reruns if you miss them, because I know not everybody's available at lunchtime. People are in different time zones. A lot of people watch it that way. They wait till it's over and they just watch the recorded live stream. And I know watching it live's best, but appreciate you checking out my content in any format. And just read the comments. Just read the comments. You'll be entertained by the comments yesterday. And I commend Michael and Ernie and Anita and everybody else for dealing with that, because imagine the comments that Drew was getting on TikTok. And talk to Chippy. Chippy is Drew's moderator there. Oh my God. I think if I would have did that on TikTok, I would have did sub only, because there's some times where it is better if you do sub only, because it's just not even worth letting people try to hijack your stream, because they'll, it's the way it is. But here, we'll cross here. I'm always amazed because 90% of people do the Chicago rolling stop, but when they see I have a camera, they get freaked out and then they want to not move, and I'm like, move, be like a normal car and just roll through the intersection, so I'll walk behind you. But they'll sit there and want me, they're like, what's this guy gonna do? He's gonna sue me, he's got a camera. I know we live a very litigious society. Nobody likes live streamers. I don't even like live streamers, and I'm a live streamer. But Bree is good. Bree's always the best there. Thanks, Marco. Christopher. Yeah, you can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. Thanks, Christopher. And I did make a mistake. I had a correction. I went inside. I was so tired after covering the march there in the West Loop. I ducked into Union Station there yesterday, and I was talking about the Untouchables and Andy Garcia and Kevin Costner, and I mistakenly said, I should have said Robert De Niro played Al Capone. I said Al Pacino. I screwed up, and it's because I was thinking Al Capone, and I said Al Pacino when I was trying to think Robert De Niro. And that shows you, at the time, I didn't realize my brain thought one thing, my mouth said something else when I watched the live reruns. And someone's going to comment, this idiot doesn't even know that it's Robert De Niro instead of Al Capone. And he's right, because I said the wrong word. That's not that bad. I made worse mistakes than that. Look at this beautiful foliage here. This is Lincoln Park, Chicago. We got 50 degrees here, May the 2nd. We'll get you up to the Billy Shakespeare statue, and then we'll sign off here. But if you missed any part of this, we checked out the Lincoln Park Zoo. And let me roll through the comments here to make sure I'm not missing it. Yeah, a few good men. Yeah, you can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth, D. Michael. So, hey, Lambie T, Ruben, thanks for tuning in there. And all the Michaels, Christopher. Yeah, people just like to comment because they can. You get it too. And that's great. Yeah. So, yeah, Marco. No things. Ernie. Yeah. Very nice. Let's see if I missed any questions here. Yeah, Al Pacino. Yeah. Beautiful birds. Yeah, at least you're right about a few good men. A few good men's Al Pacino, yeah. And Son of a Woman, all these movies that he did. There's the daffodils. You can't handle the truth. There's that tunnel we walk underneath. So, who knows if I'll stream this weekend. I'll try to do a stream tonight, at least a little bit, because I know people look for me. Friday nights, the audience on TikTok's not as large because most people got stuff to do on Friday night or traveling, and Thursday's a new Friday, so some people are already off doing weekend things on Friday night. But we'll try to do a stream tonight on TikTok, and then we'll ease into the weekend. We'll see. It's supposed to be kind of cool and clammy this week, and so I'll probably just rest up, and then we'll go back to our regular schedule. But here's the Billy Shakespeare statue here, May the 2nd, Belton Stratford. Thanks again, everybody. Thanks for the gifts, likes, and follows. Thanks, everybody, for the gifts yesterday. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you tonight on TikTok after 5, and then Monday morning there. Yeah. You want some McDonald's nuggets? Yeah, let's go get some lunch there. Fabio, what did Fabio say here? Good, thanks a lot. Thanks, Fabio. We'll talk to you later. Have a good night. Okay, bye. Married with children with Al Cappuccino. That's great.